Ahoy, Royal Nation! This is your Princess Penelope, and welcome to my page where we have real, unbiased talks about everything Zimbabwe, from socialites to politics and politicians to musicians and how to better ourselves as Zimbabweans. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share the video with your friends. Now, let's get right into the video.
Electoral observation mission in Zimbabwe for those harmonized elections 2023. Today, as we foreseen, we deployed and we have our observers all across the country observing the electoral transport of the paper ballots and all the relevant observers are around 150. Among them, we have long-term observers that have been deployed weeks ago to see also to assess the pre-electoral phase, including the electoral campaign and the electoral campaign environment. We do have short-term observers. We do have also some staff diplomats from the EU member states embassies together, also with the additional French states, Canada, Norway, Switzerland that are also joining our efforts, and we sent also additional resources to cooperate together with us. I would like to remind to all of you that we have an extremely strict code of conduct that is based on our long-lasting experience in the electoral observation mission, and of course that ensure a very strict and firm impartiality, objectiveness of our people on the ground. For what I can, it's maybe too early to give you insightful and detailed analysis, but so far all the reports that we are getting indicated that in around 30% of the polling station there were a significant delay in the opening procedures, delay that was very often linked to the lack of essential materials, notably in many cases paper ballots that didn't reach on time the polling station itself. In some cases we do register also delay that were above 1 hour and a half. At the same time, of course, we will continue observing all these electoral day and also the post-electoral phases, so we will come back to you with additional informations and remarks at a later stage. I would like to remind also that this Friday we will have a press conference held by me and also the head of the delegation of members of the European Parliament taking part of the observation will take part too, and in this press conference we will share with all of you our preliminary assessments with our first draft and analysis, on which we will explain you not simply our point of view on the electoral day, of course, but also in all other phases we observed so far, including remarks on the legal framework, including remarks on the campaign environment, including remarks on the electoral environment, and all the other relevant pertinent information. I will continue myself personally to be deployed, not simply in Harare. I will also go outside to see the situation in the rural areas surrounding Harare, and our people are really widespread all across the country. We are observing even the most remote area, the most difficult to access in the country, to really have a clear view, a very complete an inclusive view on what is the situation in the different parts. We are in all the 10 districts, and of course that will give us the possibility to have a significant amount of analysis to manage and handle with the most complete possible way this mission. Thank you very much. Thanks to all of you.
I have a question.
Thank you. So we would be going inside now, and as I said, if
I have a question.
Please.
I've seen that the EU has shown some serious interest in the rural communities this time around. What has been the reason for it? You seem to have shown some serious commitment, even in your first press conference, where you said you want to get into the rural hinterland to see how people are voting there. What's the reason for that? You haven't been doing that.
I think that it's very important to have a general overview of the whole country. Of course, urban areas are normally much more accessible, both for observers than also for medias. In rural, we have to pay additional significant efforts for logistics, for example, to reach them and deploy people on the ground. But still, they are a very important component of the country, and we want to have all these analyses, all these reports totally on board to ensure that the overview we will have of the whole electoral process and the whole electoral cycle will be a complete one, not missing a very important part that normally is, as I told you, less easily accessible for the observers and also for the media. That's why also we paid this effort to cover in a very balanced and in a very widespread way all the country in all the 10 districts, both in urban and rural areas.
But over 60% of the people are actually in the rural areas. Are you going to factor in that when you do the overall thing, or most of your observations will be based on the rural, on the urban experience?
Of course, we have a very experienced coordination for deployment of long-term observers and short-term observers, and when we are deploying and organizing the deployment of the team, we are taking into account also the demographic aspect to ensure that in general the coverage will be very balanced and will have